Our top story this morning, after Captain Amarinder stepped down from the Chief Minister's post on Saturday of Punjab, deliberations are underway in the Congress on choosing the next Chief Minister of the state. After Ambika Soni's name emerged as a top contender for the Chief Minister's post, sources now say that she has declined the offer. The veteran leader has expressed her desire, in fact, that a Sikh should be made the Chief Minister of the state. Other names that are doing the rounds are that of Sunil Jakhar and Pratap Bajwa. Sources say that Sunil Jakhar's name for the Chief Minister's post was though objected by the Sidhu camp. Congress Legislative Party meeting was to happen shortly to in fact decide on the name of the next Chief Minister. According to sources, 2 Deputy Chief Ministers will also be chosen. Congress is focusing to settle the caste equation, and as per sources, a Deputy Chief Minister could be from the Dalit community and another Deputy Chief Minister could be from the Sikh community.
पार्टी डिसाइड करती है। हम लोगों को ना तो ऐसी कोई जानकारी है, ना किसी ने कुछ बताया है, और मुझे लगता है कि क्योंकि ये पार्टी ने डिसाइड करना है और सोनिया गांधी जी ने नाम के ऊपर मोहर लगानी है, फाइनल वो क्या मोहर लग के आती है, कौन क्या बनता है, तो मेरा ख्याल ये कुछ घंटों की बात है, उसके लिए वेट कर लेनी चाहिए।
We've got some breaking news that's coming in right now. The Congress Legislature Party meeting, which was scheduled to happen now at around 11 a.m. may not happen. Congress MLA Pargat Singh has in fact said that the decision on the next Chief Minister is to be made by the party high command, and there is no need in fact for another CLP meeting.
There was a resolution which was unanimously accepted by the House, and we have given this to Madam Sonia Gandhi. Whatever the decision she is going to take, we will all accept.
Sir, who are the front runner? Because yesterday we have seen that Sunil Jakhar and Sukhjinder Singh Randhawa, they are the main prominent names which are the front runners.
See, ultimately it all depends on the High Command. I have nothing to say on this.
विधायक दल की जो बैठक होनी थी वो रद्द हो गई सर।
नहीं, विधायक दल की बैठक तो कल हो गई है।
आज भी बुलाई गई है।
जब मैंडेट दे दिया गया है तो उसमें मेरा ख्याल दोबारा विधायक दल की मीटिंग की जरूरत नहीं।
My colleagues Kamaljeet Sandhu and Manjeet Sehgal are now joining me live from Chandigarh on this breaking development. Manjeet, I'll come across to you first. You spoke to Pargat Singh, who is the PCC General Secretary of Punjab. He, of course, says that there is no need for a CLP because the decision is on the High Command to make now. They have to basically decide who will be the next Chief Minister of Punjab. So, are the legislators all just going to go with whatever name comes from Sonia Gandhi's office?
Well, follow me, a lot of political activity is taking place in Chandigarh. All we know is that a resolution was passed yesterday which was endorsed by 78 MLAs, and then there was no point of convening a second CLP meeting. That is why Pargat Singh has now clarified that this meeting is not happening. But as far as lobbying for the CLP leaders post is concerned, hectic lobbying is being witnessed. Various pressure groups led by the various factions of Punjab Congress, including Sukhjinder Singh Randhawa's camp, Navjot Singh Sidhu's camp, Sunil Jakhar's camp and others, are exerting pressure and trying to assert themselves. They are regularly meeting the 2 observers sent by the party high command and trying to convey their candidature. But the decision has been left on the party high command. The name can be announced anytime. But if we talk about the Captain Amarinder Singh's camp, that has clearly told the party high command that they will not accept Navjot Singh Sidhu and any other leader from his camp as the Chief Minister. And if party high command goes with it, then they should be prepared for a floor test. Colony.
That's an extremely serious sort of a situation and a dilemma that the Congress in fact finds itself in. Kamaljeet, I'll come across to you now. The fact is, Manjeet says now there is hectic lobbying that's happening. Everyone is exerting pressure. Both camps, the Navjot Singh Sidhu camp, the Captain Amarinder camp. This is going to be extremely tough for the Congress to find a consensus candidate that nobody is going to oppose.
Well, after refusal of Ambika Soni to the party high command that she cannot be the CM face, trouble has mounted for Congress party. Because the longer it continues, the more factionalism there will be, more lobbying there will be. We've already seen the factionalism is costing Congress a lot as far as the party is concerned, just 4 months ahead of the high-octane Punjab Assembly polls. Captain is out of the race. He's resigned, saying he's been humiliated, but his camp is actively working. So is Navjot Singh Sidhu, who has ousted himself out, saying he doesn't want to be the interim face, at least for a period of 4 months. He's looking at being the CM face for the assembly elections ahead. What is also important is the names of Sunil Jhakar and Ambika Soni. Then there is Sukhjinder Randhawa as well as Saranjit Channu. So these are names which are coming up, but the ideal part was that they would have a consensus face who would keep the flock together. The other is to have 2 deputy CM, one from perhaps Dalit community, the other from the Jatse community. This is to keep in mind not just the caste equations, but also keeping in scenario as to how things are panning out in Punjab as far as agitation is concerned, as far as the political turmoil is concerned. There are these allegations which have been levelled against Captain Amarinder Singh, whether it was inaction against the Badals, especially in the drug case, the sacrilegious cases. There was an evidence mounting, especially by the insiders who were complaining that not enough was being done, and that was being reflected on the ground. Now the part is whether there could be a face who could not only be a consensus, but who would promote party leadership, will be a strong candidate who will lead this entire Congress party out of this entire mess. But right behind me, this is now turning out to be a complete anti-climax. Now, there is a large media presence out here, but there is no CLP meeting. Now, what we've been told is that since everything has been led to the party high command, which is also not just looking at a face, but they have to ensure that one common face who will bring this entire factionalism to an end. Now, that's going to be something very, very difficult as far as Congress party is concerned, considering in the past few months, we've seen factionalism really emerging. So Congress, which was ahead for quite some time, seems to be now on an equal keel with Aam Aadmi Party, Shrimani Akali Dal, who's tied up with BSP. So right now is a time that they need to put all this behind them and have a face who can take the party forward.
Absolutely. It remains to be seen if the Congress manages to, in fact, take that challenge head on and put this factionalism behind them so that they can go stronger into the upcoming elections. Kamalji, thank you so much. Manjeet, thank you so much for joining us as well. Let's take a look now at the contenders who are in the fray. For the Chief Minister's post, it is Sunil Jhakar, who is one of the front runners. He is a former Congress, Punjab Congress chief as well. So he's held that position. He's 3 times MLA from Abohar as well. He's been a member of the Legislative Assembly, leader of the opposition from 2012 to 2017. So some amount of experience over there that Sunil Jhakar has. There are other contenders who are in the fray as well. When it comes to Pratap Singh Bajwa, former Punjab Congress president, currently serves as Rajya Sabha Member of Parliament from the state of Punjab, served as minister in Punjab government in the past, so he has experience in governance as well. He led the revolt against Captain in 2020, so he's not from the Captain camp for sure. As far as Deputy Chief Ministers are concerned, one of them, a likely candidate, is Charanjit Singh Chani, who is a 3-time MLA. Currently, he is an MLA from Chamkaur Sahib as well. He serves as State Cabinet Minister. He's been a minister in the government as well and vocal against a captain, so has been a dissident as far as the Captain Amarinder Singh camp is concerned. Another likely candidate for the post of Deputy Chief Minister is Rajkumar Verka. He is a 3-time member of the Legislative Assembly, currently an MLA from Amritsar West. Also Vice Chairman of the National Commission for SC/ST and comes from the Dalit community. These are 2 Dalit community leaders. Sikh candidate, there could be a Deputy Chief Minister, 3-time MLA, that's Sukhjinder Singh Randhawa. He's considered to be close to Sidhu, currently an MLA from Dera Baba Nanak as well. Again, served as Vice President of Punjab Congress. So he is, of course, a Sikh candidate and is the close aide of Navjot Singh Sidhu, like I said. So 3 probables for the post of 2 Deputy Chief Ministers that are likely to be proposed by the Congress party. Shifting focus to Rajasthan, Rajasthan Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot's officer on special duty, Lokesh Sharma, has submitted his resignation after a row over his Twitter post on Saturday. Lokesh Sharma offered his resignation to the Chief Minister. In his letter, Sharma wrote that political colour is being given to his Twitter post and it is being connected with political developments in Punjab. The official had written in the tweet in Hindi that can be roughly translated as the strong are being made helpless and the insignificant are being strengthened. After Sharma's Twitter post, it was being speculated that Rajasthan Chief Minister Gehlot was unhappy with the political developments in Punjab, where sitting Chief Minister Captain Amarinder Singh had to submit his resignation. In Congress-ruled Rajasthan, factions of Chief Minister Gehlot and his former deputy Sachin Pilot had been involved earlier in a political tussle. Slipping into a short break, coming up next, IPL 2021 returns. Familiar foes Mumbai Indians and Chennai Super Kings take centre stage. All those details on the other side of the short break. Welcome back. The moment every cricket fan in the country is waiting for is only a few hours away. Defending champions Mumbai Indians take on the mighty Chennai Super Kings to kickstart the second half of this year's Indian Premier League. Here's what you can expect from this clash of the Titans.
Earlier this year, just as India was gasping for breath with the second wave of the pandemic raging, IPL rumbled on behind closed doors, unaffected by the virus that was wreaking havoc all over the country.
The teams are playing really good cricket.
But that didn't last long. The watertight power bubble was eventually breached, forcing the suspension of the tournament after just 29 games. But after a long wait, a few alterations to the international calendar, a few changes to the teams, the world's biggest T20 extravaganza is back.
They're opening partnerships in the last 4 games.
And it's the mother of all battles that will kick things off again. 5-time IPL champions Mumbai Indians face 3-time IPL winners Chennai Super Kings.
Nobody's catching that.
The last time these two sides met, they produced a timeless classic, with Mumbai Indians chasing down a mammoth 219-run target of the last delivery, all thanks to the big-hitting Kieron Pollard.
That's 50 for Kieron Pollard.
And fans will be hoping that the first game of the second phase of the IPL produces yet another blockbuster.
Hats off to you, Kieron Pollard. A red and yellow clash.
The Chennai Super Kings, though, are set to miss key overseas stars. Sam Curran is yet to complete his quarantine period in the UAE.
Quick and full. And 50.
While Faf du Plessis still hasn't fully recovered from a groin strain, an injury that kept him out of the knockout stages of the CPL.
Shot. Beautifully done.
In addition, Dwayne Bravo is nursing a groin injury, and there's no clarity on whether Bravo is fit enough to bowl, considering he didn't bowl in any of his team's last 5 matches in the CPL.
The ball back into both these
Defending champions, Mumbai Indians though have a full squad to choose from. Quinton de Kock, Kieron Pollard and Trent Bolt in all likelihood will start, and it's only the 4th overseas slot Mumbai Indians will have to ponder upon.
Smiling, you know why they're smiling.
Rohit Sharma's team are currently in the final playoff spot, and they would be hoping they can go level on points with both CSK and RCB with a victory in Dubai. MS Dhoni's side though will go top of the pile if they manage to overcome their perennial rivals.
Sweetly struck.
A fascinating contest awaits us all, and the entire nation will now be glued to their TV screens for the next couple of months. For IPL is just the start. The World T20 follows next. Sports Bureau, India Today.
And that's a wrap on this bulletin. For all the latest news and updates, you can log on to indiatoday.in. You can also download the India Today app. Thank you so much for watching.